All right, it's the rundown, June 7th, 2023. Your pal Clem here. My basement boy, Robbie, my fellow podfather, if we're allowed to say that word on air, Uncle Chaps. And we are back for another rundown session presented by the Barstool Store. Chapsy, what's coming up in like a week and a half? No one really knows the date, but it's coming up soon. What's coming up, my friend?
My friend, it's Father's Day. It's finally the dads get a little attention, some recognition, and maybe just a little bit of golf on the couch where nobody bothers you.
Yeah, by attention, we mean completely ignore your dad for the entire day, but
That's right.
But before you do that, you give him a nice present. You go to the Barstool Store and get him some merch. Get him a shirt, get him a hat, whatever it may be. Ooh, Chapsy has a 0 Black 30 there. We have a full collection of Barstool Father's Day shirts, hats, all that kind of stuff. Store.barstoolsports.com. You have the little that girl dad hat, Chapsy. We dropped the ball on that one. We had a podcast for like 5 years and we never came out with a hat that just said dad in 3 letters.
Well, we tried to, and they were like, you guys stink. We're canceling the show. You're never getting any merch. And in fact, we hate you. Like it was a rough couple weeks.
Then Will Compton goes out, has a baby. Everything's just hitting. So get your dad, make your dad look cool. It's hard to make dads look cool, but the Barstool Store merch does. So check it out, store.barstoolsports.com. Get your stuff there. There's even the 4th of July store. So if you want to get, save on the shipping, get yourself some merch for Father's Day, 4th of July, and we're ready to rock and roll into the summer. But the first topic of the day, we will not be going outside because the Canadian wildfires are just blanketing the cities with smoke right now. Smoke from the wildfires that originated in Quebec. I did not know this. Filled the American skies yesterday. New York looked like either I Am Legend or Dune at some points during the Yankees game was especially ominous. It's all covered in smoke. I think Daddy boys are right down there in Texas, right? You guys are still pretty clear down there?
Yeah, we're gonna have fires though. I mean, we always do too. It's hot. It's fire. But we don't have any of the Canadian smoke though. We don't want that.
Yeah, you don't want any smoke with the Canadians. Maybe some Mexican smoke coming up from south of the border, but north of the border. And it's bad. I saw that I think like over 100 is bad conditions in terms of some like measurement. And Philadelphia was at 212, which feels about right for our friends in Philly. Robbie, how are you doing down in the city? Because you have to go outside. I could just live in the burbs. I have my house here. How are you making out with all this smoke?
I actually flew through it last night. So I'm in Columbus right now for the week. And I literally, my flight got delayed because of the smoke. And then when we eventually took off, we flew through the smoke. And I swear the whole plane smelled like smoke. Wow. It's kind of like creepy, ominous. But once you made it through, then it was like, all right, you could see the end of the tunnel. But yeah, it was weird. Flights were getting delayed left and right at LaGuardia, changing terminals. Everyone's taking pictures of Citi Field looking as ominous as it did in Endgame. Yeah, it was a weird time. And I heard it's going to last until like Sunday.
Yeah, it's supposed to last till Sunday. I've seen a million pictures of all the different like shots of the sky. The sun looks like red. It's fucking really creepy. I haven't seen one picture of the wildfires. I hope everyone's all right north of the border in Canada. Like, hopefully
that
the
is
are
funny,
fine.
Right? Like every news story is like, look, we got a little bit of smoke in the air. Meanwhile, they're on fire. Like the meme. Like, please, someone help us. We are literally on fire.
Yeah, it's the swing set meme. We're all just like making jokes about it, and then there's literally fire going on right behind us. Is it wrong to say this? I wish this happened in about 3 months, because nothing. You boys know this. Well, Chaps, you know this. Robbie, maybe not as much. Nothing's worse than that first few weeks of NFL season when you just want to sit in and just watch football until your eyes bleed. And it's like the perfect weather outside. September into October is the perfect weather. If this had happened then, I'd be like, right, I'm just going to stay in the house. Now I just feel like kind of a jerk staying inside here, kind of a.
Yeah, and the poor kids just getting out of school and now they got smoke everywhere.
Yeah, they said that today. I got a letter from Sienna School saying that like PE and recess will be inside today. And I'm like, well, when the kids come home, they ain't staying inside. I think it's equal to like 6 cigarettes. I'm like,
that's
their virgin lungs haven't smoked a cigarette in their life. They'll be fine.
Yeah, kids in West Virginia scoff at that.
You're doing lung damage. Yeah, you're doing lung damage, but you don't get the coolness factor of being able to smoke cigarettes. Tough.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like 40. If it was like 40, I'd be concerned. But 6, I mean, that's half a night drinking. Like, that's nothing.
Do you think you get cooler just by inhaling that kind of smoke? I mean, cigarette smoke does make you cooler. Do you think this kind of smoke makes you? It's Canadian smoke, maybe not. Maybe the lighter.
French. I mean, it's French Canada.
Yeah.
So
it's like those long cigarettes.
Wee wee.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So moving on. America does get a W today. Our boy Messi.
Messi.
Turned down $1 billion from those motherfuckers in Saudi Arabia. We could say motherfuckers when talking about Saudi Arabians, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine. He's going to play for MLS Inter Miami. Miami just keeps fucking stacking W's here. There was a lot of talk about him looking for the Billy. Turns it down. It says there's an unprecedented contract. I'm sure there's like ownership in the team, the league. Might just like own us right now. I don't even know what he's doing, but the largest contract of all time before this was $15 million per year. I'm going to say he went north of that. Chaps, give me all your thoughts on Lionel Messi.
I mean, when those numbers first came out about the possible Saudi deal and it was $1.2 billion for 2 years, I was legit taken aback. Like, there's not much things in sports at 40 years old that you're like, oh my God. But $1.2 billion, it's actually for American funds, $1.3 billion. Imagine turning that down for 2 years. For 2 years, I'd live in Antarctica. Like, for 2 years, if I was offered that, even though like Marine and stuff, I'd go to Saudi Arabia for $1.3 billion, but he signed me up.
Yeah. Robbie, let me hear your takes.
And what if this Saudi league just merges with the MLS tomorrow? I mean, we saw it happen and live, right? But I texted Za about our resident soccer guy because I don't have Troops' number. And I said, what do you think about this? Is it like David Beckham going MLS? I assume it's even bigger. And he said, yeah, it's even bigger than that. He's apparently getting a percentage of Apple streaming rights from the MLS in total, which I assume is going to be a lot of money for him. It's also one of those things where I'm not a soccer guy, football guy. I've been to a couple MLS matches, pretty fun time. It does make me want to go like see, I don't know, Red Bulls versus Miami this year just to say, oh, I've seen Messi live. So I can't imagine what this is going to do for just the league in general.
Yeah, it feels huge. But I'm with you, Robbie. I want to make this prediction now, June 7th, 2023. Saudi Arabia's buying the MLS. Like they want what they get. We learned that with the PGA. They're going to do it all over again. And as our boy Trent said, take the money. Right. That's now Trent's on Trent's tombstone. It's like the first line of his obituary. Always take the money because in the end, it doesn't mean a fucking thing.
I mean, don't they own like 3 of the English Premier League teams?
Yeah.
Like so, already? Yeah.
So I feel like they just buy the whole MLS for the price of like half of those.
They buy soccer. Like they essentially own soccer.
Soccer, golf. What's next? I mean, Goodell would sell to the Saudis in an instant. He's probably already in negotiations.
I bet F1's up there too.
Yeah, it is. Definitely. When I went to Abu Dhabi, our hotel was on like a racetrack. It was crazy.
But Chaps, you said it best. Like when the numbers started coming out about this with like the billion, and at one point, like when is enough money enough? Like we cannot spend that money if you tried. Like burning it wouldn't even have enough time to do that through the rest of your life.
No, but think about all the good things you could do if you care about that too. Like go there for $1.3 billion and then come back and help out a bunch of people. I mean, it's hard to say anything about it. I mean, I ain't giving all of it. I'll keep like 100 million because after that, unless you're Dave, like, what are you going to do with $100 million? Like,
exactly. But like, you could do Mr. Beast and cure blindness, and then people would call you out for like the way you cured their blindness, right?
Yeah.
How dare you cure deaf people, you piece of shit?
That's the thing. Like Messi doesn't have that $1 billion like stamp on him now. You don't know because it's like streaming rights. It's ownership shit. So there's not a number on it. So we can't be like, oh, Messi, why aren't you putting out the wildfires in Canada that are ruining our daily lives here in New York because we're coughing here and there?
But has to be close, right? Like I don't think you go somewhere 1.3. Like his team has got to be this Apple streaming deal could bring you 800 million, like something remotely close.
It has to be. Yeah. You have to think at least over half, right? Like,
yeah. Because if the previous high was 15 million, dude, he wipes his ass with 15 million. That's like he gets 15 million per corner.
A game. Okay, per corner kick. Do you think he's in like do you think he gets like creative control over a future Ted Lasso spinoff too? Like you gotta have that in the contract if it's Apple TV, right?
If he's on Apple, he's probably gonna be on Ted Lasso if they do another season.
Yeah.
Or spinoff.
Did you guys finish up Ted Lasso? Kind of get some like thumbs up, thumbs down, or just kind of thoughts?
I have like 2 to go, to be honest. Okay. I could go la 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 la.
I know that everybody liked the ending, but I feel like season 3 was terrible. Like the reason why we all liked it is because it was very Like the humor was light. It was very simple, lots of dad jokes. And then you got to bring in all the drama of relationships and people are cheating. Get it out of my face. Just give me Southern easy humor. That's what I want to watch at night, not something drama. You can find that anywhere.
Yeah, I thought there was a couple episodes near the end where it got a little closer to the real Ted Lasso, but getting there was like Robbie. It was a lot of smoke before we got up above the clouds, you know?
I just wanted more Ted the whole season. I was like, where's Ted? Why are we cutting away from Ted? This show's Ted Lasso.
Well, hopefully
hated heel Nate too. The worst.
I won't spoil anything, but I wish they embraced what Nate became in the end of season 2 without giving away too much here. Hopefully Messi fixes Ted Lasso like he does the MLS. That's the other thing though. There's also a chance that he's going to come to town and a lot of people are like, whatever, like they'll forget the appeal of Messi, but he's still very good. Well, he just won the fucking World Cup, right? So
yeah,
people are saying like he won the World Cup and now his motivation to like win championships, like he doesn't have it. So he's like, fuck it, I'll go to America.
Yeah. And I've always been a Messi guy just because people would always just flood my timeline with Messi stuff. So I like him over Ronaldo. So fuck Ronaldo. He's too fucking good for the Americans here. Next up, Ja Morant going the other direction in sports right now. Ja Morant, his team said that he was that a gang sign, Robbie?
No, he's putting him up.
Oh, okay. Goes to Columbus once and he's throwing up signs. Ja Morant's camp said that Adam Silver is going to look through the suspension because they're claiming that Ja Morant was flashing a toy gun. Chapsy, what do we think about this fucking
I didn't see nary an orange tip on that bad boy, Clem. So even if it was a toy gun, still illegal. Doesn't matter.
Still a problem. Robbie, you've been caught on Instagram waving a lot of guns. Like, have you ever they've all been real though, right?
Yeah, I've dealt with this time and time again. It's tough when the agents and the suits get involved. It's just like, let me flash my guns on IG Live. But yeah, you say it's a toy gun. I feel like it should be instant replay rules. Like you need conclusive evidence to sway all of us. It needs to be like you need to see the orange tip, like Chap said. You need to see out the bottom where you put the water in. It's like what's that movie Airheads where they spray paint all the toy guns? They rob the record label. That's right. It's a good 90s movie, but you got to show us the conclusive evidence towards that. I mean, this guy's agent, everyone around him, they can't catch a break. He can't stop flashing guns on IG Live.
But if he did do it with a fake gun with an orange tip, I feel like it's a hilarious clip. Like if he does that as a joke, that's a great clip.
Yeah. Can you imagine if Ja goes live tonight on Instagram Live with a gun, pulls the trigger, and then the bang comes out, a little, or it says bang,
like the Joker.
Or he's on there, he's doing his thing with the Super Soaker 3000.
Yeah. If I'm on Silver, I go from suspending him to giving the Grizzlies the #1 pick. Like, sorry, Wembanyama's going to Memphis now, boys. Because
I don't want him to go to the Spurs anyway, because I'm leaving. I don't want anything good happening after I leave sports-wise, because I haven't experienced it in like 11 years, so I don't want that.
Are you the one that brought the Spurs dynasty down, Chapsy? Was it you?
Probably. Just like Connor did West Point, because that's when the 14-year losing streak started, when Connor rolled into West Point.
Oh, wow. Did Connor ever sing the fight song he promised to sing that a Man of Honor would do?
No, but I can't bring it up. I promised that I wouldn't bring it up anymore when he did one thing. I'm not going to mention what
I brought it up though, so it's okay. I brought it up. You're fine.
I told him I would never. I am a man of integrity, Clem. I told him I would never bring it up again or talk about it again, so I don't feel like I can do it.
That's a good man. That's a good man. He also lost an arm wrestling contest to Corey from the challenge back.
Now that I can talk about, pussy.
Moving on here to another. I don't want to call him a pussy. I don't really like this guy. Machine Gun Kelly here.
Cons?
Yeah, Cons. Machine Gun Kelly apparently went nuts because he saw Megan Fox filming a sex scene with. Okay, Robbie, you're gonna have to walk me through this. Tyson Ritter from All American Rejects. Okay.
Yes. So this is for a movie called Johnny and Clyde, which is a straight to streaming movie. And if you look up the trailer for it, it looks like a straight to DVD movie from back in the day. This trailer is one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and I haven't even seen the movie. Tyson Ritter from All American Rejects has not had the best reputation over the years. Not like he's an evil person, but just like I've heard like, oh, he's a dick from various people, not like inside sources, just on the internet. Machine Gun Kelly obviously has that persona out there. So there's part of me that like, all right, he freaked out on, but it wasn't filming a sex scene. Apparently, Tyson Ritter walked into her trailer and was like, I have an idea for the script where I'll put my fingers in your mouth and you could suck on them. And that's what he freaked out on.
And wasn't it?
I saw the
scene
trailer.
too?
I don't know if it wasn't a sex scene. I think he said it was like after the character died. Like she had been putting her fingers in his mouth and he wanted to do it like after she died or something. Spoilers for Johnny.
Oh, god damn. I was going to watch Johnny.
Yeah.
But when I read that, I was like, man, you can't go into Megan Fox's trailer in this horrible straight to DVD movie that she's doing for probably 6 hours and getting out of there for the paycheck and saying, can you suck on my fingers right in front of her boyfriend?
Firmly disagree. I mean, how many times are you going to be in an RV with Megan Fox? And if you're already kind of known for being a little scumbag, I feel like you got to go in, and he went fingers, which is a gentleman. I would have went straight penis.
Oh, penis. We're talking penis. I mean, Johnny and Clyde. If you could probably get away with that.
I mean, if you have a straight to DVD video with Megan Fox, why not do a little penis sucking?
I'm just gonna make an admission here on the rundown. Didn't think I'd do this. I'm a big fan of getting my fingers sucked. And if Megan Fox,
Clem.
You're a big Robbie. Is this a clean sweep here?
Yeah. I mean, you can't turn it down.
Yeah, I wouldn't turn it down.
Yeah, I wouldn't turn it down. And I don't know if I would, put in notes to a script asking for my co-star who's with somebody with the first name Machine Gun to suck my fingers. But I'm kind of giving this guy credit here. Now, I don't feel like I should like Tyson Ritter, but I definitely don't like Machine Gun Kelly. So fuck him.
Because he doesn't deserve the name Machine Gun. What is it? Because he raps fast? Like, if you're going to name yourself Machine Gun, you had to do some stuff.
Well, I think there was a real
gun.
Machine Gun Kelly. He named himself
Yeah,
after
I know
the
that,
gangster,
but he
right?
doesn't deserve that. He's not
True.
the Machine Gun Kelly deserved to be Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, exactly. And they're taking the name Bonnie and Clyde, making it Johnny. There's a lot of gangsters need to start stepping up. John Morant needs to go out and pull a gun on these people and say, stop fucking desecrating these gangsters' names here, right? Because now I know Johnny and Clyde is some shitty movie that should be straight to DVD. So I don't know here. I was going to go with another. We had a guy here who once rapped like a machine gun. He's no longer works at the company. You have to be very careful when you rap fast. We learned that lesson the hard way here at Barstool.
And we're not talking Ron because he's still here.
Yeah,
I thought Ron at first. Yeah, I was like, Ron's the machine gun rat. And then I was like, oh, all right. Yeah.
Next up, woman kidnapped a daughter to teach her husband a lesson. This woman should not be getting any Mother's Day merch from the Barstool store next year. She decided to leave her baby at home with her husband instead of daycare because daycare was too expensive. He hasn't worked since 2021, so we're looking at about 2 years of just sitting at home. Doesn't cook, clean, help out in any ways, but things were going well initially. Instead, turns out they didn't like the way the baby was crying all the time. Says the kid gets kidnapped. 2 hours after they can't find the baby, wifey says, it was all set up. Chapsy, I feel like this is a Podfather's fucking lab for us right here.
I kind of like the move. I mean, if he's not doing anything for 2 years, 2 hours might be a little long, but if he's not doing anything for 2 years and he's just sitting on his ass, I mean, the fact that she didn't do something worse is a credit to her.
And also the neighbor report. Did you see that? Apparently the neighbor had knocked on their door because the baby was crying for hours and hours and hours. And the guy was sleeping with noise canceling headphones on.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Which that's just the most dangerous thing you could do with a baby, right?
Yeah.
My
wife would my wife would murder me. If she found out that the baby was crying so much that the neighbors had to come over like it was a chihuahua in an apartment, dude, I am deadzo.
At this point, what keeps you with this guy? Because it has your baby in danger. He's not offering anything financially. He's not offering anything around the house. Must have good dick. I mean, has to have a great dick.
Got to.
Point, right? Great dog, great dick. Maybe good fingers.
Guy sucks her fingers.
Finger sucker. Or maybe maybe he paid her bail.
Oh, that's fair too.
That is a good point. But yeah, I think they got to break up. This guy seems like the worst fucking dad in the world. And listen, kidnapping the kid, obviously, it's a big point. But also, I don't think the dad called her until 2 hours later. The dad is like, I'm in a house with no baby. And he waited for the wife to call 2 hours later to be like, hey, where's the baby? Fuck this guy.
Well, in the dad's defense there, he might have thought that the baby was taking a sick nap. And if that's the case, you ain't going in there and waking the baby up.
True. Well, you got to have a baby monitor.
Yeah.
Get on the monitor.
True.
sometimes when my kids are sleeping, I don't even try to think about them because I'm like, if I think about them, somehow that might wake them up because you're just so happy when they go to sleep. You're just so fucking blessed.
You're just so happy to turn all the volume of your phone down and just be looking at it in silence and nobody's around you. That's what a dad shirt should be like. Just leave me alone so I could sit here and just play on my phone while it's on silent and not have to look after the kids. Might be a little long-winded, but I think it would sell.
I feel like there has to be a way to get daycare for someone like this too, where the guys, it is expensive. I just submitted my last payment, boys. It felt so fucking good. I have to write a check. It's an old school kind of place, and just signing that thing, handing it over, and I have to pay for camp for the summer. Camp is the best money you will pay because I actually have a summer now. I have a summer, whatever. I don't care about the money. It's the best fucking thing. And now my kids are in public schools for the rest of their lives, same public schools I went to. And look at me. I'm working my dream job talking about idiot fucking fathers that lose their kids. So
Kate was talking about it the other day, moving to Chicago. She's gonna have to pay like $2,400 a month. Like, how do people afford that? Like, you have a $3,000, $4,000 mortgage or rent, and then you got to do 20. Everybody has to be rich in America. You just have to be rich.
That's insane.
You're rich or you're fucked, basically. I don't get it, man. But yeah, this is like, what do they say? Like this husband dropped the bag here. Like, all you had to do was just not have the baby die or potentially die, and he couldn't even do that. So like, he could have just sat at home.
Throw on Miss Rachel.
Yeah, yeah. At least be a gentleman about it. Throw on YouTube and let the kid's eyes bleed from watching so much YouTube. He completely fucked up. I don't blame the wife at all. But at the same point, like, if he sucks a finger good, like, what are you gonna do? She loves him.
Yeah.
And then we're bringing in the closer for this one. An absolutely tragic day here in the world. RIP to our boy, the Iron Sheik, an all-time, a wrestling legend, an absolute icon. I could let Robbie go probably even more deeper into this, but also we have to also say one of the great Twitter followers of all time too. Just an electric guy.
It should keep going on, right? Like, just keep it going.
I think keep it going.
ChatGPT it.
Yeah, just keep it going. Well, he didn't write that anyways. There's no way he did that.
It was. I think it was his nephews, because in the like RIP Iron Sheik post, like a giant notes app part of it was just like, and Iron Sheik loved his nephews who kept his legacy alive and felt the importance of what he needed to say on Twitter and whatnot. And it's like, which was like, fuck the Taylor Swift, like, I break your back and make you humble, Justin Bieber, like that kind of stuff. I loved, though, I actually like pulled a few apart here, his tweets, incessant tweets to the Hulk Hogan, as he would call him. I love the Hulk Hogan, but let me clarify, today is April Fool's Day, so that was a joke, Bubba. In reality, today and every day, he was forever a dumb son of a bitch. A random one: if you insult the manager of a Target, you will have heat with me, Bubba. Happy Thanksgiving to all of my American fans, except that piece of shit Hulk Hogan. You could go fuck yourself forever. So it's just like, there's so many great ones, and he had so many different eras of his career. You have the old school Iron Sheik, who became the first WWF Iranian champion, beat Bob Backlund at the Garden. Then you've got the Colonel Mustafa, who turned his back on went with Sergeant Slaughter after he turned his back on America against Hulk Hogan. Then you've got like the Whack Pack Howard Stern era Iron Sheik, where he's there with Beetlejuice and they're making viral videos and whatnot. And then you've got the Twitter Iron Sheik, who everyone my age still knows to this day. One of the all-time wrestling heels. I would put him top 5, top 10 heels of all time. And just one of the all-time legends, one of the most recognizable wrestlers of all time as well.
I don't think I didn't realize this growing up because I was so young, but going from like the Iranian guy, and I feel like he might have just like said he was Iraqi because we were fighting Iraq in the war. And stuff. You have to respect
Flipped
the
it
guy.
over, changed his name. He kept the pointy boots, but yeah.
And the camel clutch, when you were wrestling in the back with, your friends and someone pulled out the camel clutch, man, that was one of the most painful fucking finishers you could have. So always made you respect the Iron Sheik. So
imagine how big he would have got, Clem, if he ever stepped foot in the WCW squared circle.
Oh, Chaps, I was going to say, was he even on your radar back in the day when you were watching that backwoods stuff?
He was, but I didn't appreciate that. Like, he's in that hoity-toity WWF. We need to bring it down a little bit, Sheik. WCW is where it's at.
Chaps, might have been fighting for the other side if he was in WWF. He might have really, struck a chord with you, and maybe he would have went across for the other side there. There's
a legend about the Iron Sheik, and I don't know how true it is, but he unfortunately had a very tragic life. His daughter was murdered. and he went to court to, when the murderer was put into jail, and he had almost like a Bruce Wayne Batman Begins moment. He planned on killing his daughter's murderer in court. He went into court with a razor blade hidden in his mouth and just planned on slitting his throat. Apparently his family like surrounded him and talked him out of it. But there's a lot of stories about the Iron Sheik from the 80s, the 90s, even the 70s that are just like, holy fuck, this guy lived a life.
I'm going to say
I wouldn't blame him for that move with the razor in the mouth. Wouldn't blame him one bit.
How could you? It's Father's Day merch. Go buy some dad stuff.
Yeah, go in honor of our boy Sheiky. After show, we got the Dozen live tomorrow from Chicago, 7 p.m. Eastern. Going to be at the theater, and then live on YouTube, which, oh boy, we actually do a good job here. Shout out to all Biz Pete, our guy, Tech Guy Andrew, and everyone behind the scenes and all that. I'm not going to say the matchups. I don't know what matchups have been announced. I don't want to spoil a fucking thing. I think I can say ZD's going to be there. That's been announced, right? Like that's very well known. You guys got to be rooting for ZD, right? Happy Dave, happy life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm rooting for ZD for all three. It's Dave, it's you, it's Eddie. The other teams, the Honkers have been rivals with in the past. Not as much Minahan. We've never really, I don't think the Honkers have ever played Minahan, but everyone else, we've had issues with. So I think you're the most safe for the big screaming Honkers for sure.
Okay, that's all I can ask for. Team Swamp Ass. We haven't crossed you guys at all. I feel like we've had I've answered a couple phone friends. Like I feel like we're all on good terms here, right?
Yeah, we're on good terms, but I stink at that game. I mean, the way that the sports are just so specific, not for me. I will do it again, but I think I'm dumb. I'm dumb.
You have to. You're not dumb, Chaps. You are dad brain. Like I could just tell. Like 10 years ago playing this, I would have been so much better. But like kids just wear your brains down to a nub, and then age. We're both olds as well, so it's like those two things combined. And then if you don't if it doesn't hit when you were like a diehard sports fan, Jeff D. Lowe brings some fucking 1995 FSU shit into your house, you're eating that up. Same with some,
buddy,
who did Sting face at Starcade 92?
The Great Muda.
Exactly. There you go. So you just have to find your niche, baby. That's all you have to do. So I'm excited to see how it goes. The live crowds are absolutely crazy, man. It's fucking nuts. So I'll be interested to see how it all plays out live. So check it out on YouTube. And then I think Jeff has a thing set up on the Discord if you want to get tickets, because I know it's sold out like instantly. You can get your tickets through there. So check it out. Tuesday, June 8th in Chicago. I'm flying out there. I'm actually kind of worried about my delays now, Bob. You think should I get ready for?
I think you'll be okay now. No, I feel like it's all died down now. I'm excited for the Dozen live though, obviously, to see what Jeff's outfit looks like, see what Jeff's tan looks like, see what Jeff looks like, see what kind of shape he's in.
The hair.
What is California barbers getting into?
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, he's got to be. That should be a video series. Jeff searches for a new barber.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That'll have some characters out.
One snip. Everybody knows the rules.
I'll be in your future neck of the woods there. Has the house been purchased or at least found yet?
House is purchased. We're in the final stages of like the closing stuff. We closed the 23rd. Buying a house is bullshit. Like it just is, man. Like, why do you need so much documentation? What do you need? Like, I'll give you my pay stubs for the last 6 months. And why do you need more? Like, I don't get it, man. Like, it's just too much stuff. Too much.
And I mean, you've done this before. Obviously, you just moved into your house, which as what is it? 3 years ago, you moved into this house.
2.
Oh my god! Oh.
I moved in March of 2021. My interest rate on this house is 2.9%. The new one is almost 6%. And for Robbie, if you never bought a house, that's the difference of almost $1,000 a month from that interest rate to that interest rate. Terrible.
I like my house, but I had thought maybe we would move in the future. We refinanced. This is adult time, so get your fucking Father's Day Barstool stuff.
Where's large at? Let's bring in large.
This is what your parents did behind the scenes for years. I was thinking maybe down the road we'd move or whatever. We refinanced. I cut like 7 years off my mortgage. I'm paying less than I did before then. And it's like, And then I've seen these rates. I'm like, I'm never moving. I'm going to die here, and I'm 100% fine with it. I'm going to get a nice hot tub. We'll get a nice pool. We'll do all this kind of stuff. And I'm just going to build up around because there's no fucking way I would move. Chaps, the other thing about it that you didn't mention is there's just all these fees, and you just sign them away. You're like, whatever. It is what it is. It's like they have you by the hook, line, and sinker. They have you by the ass. There's nothing you can do.
And it's when money doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Like you put your house for sale for 700,000, 800,000. And they're like, oh, we'll go 780. And you're like, what the fuck's 20 grand? Let's do it.
Yeah.
It's the only time in your life that you do that.
And the other thing,
nuts.
most don't even tell you, you don't get to keep the furniture that you see the house
True.
in.
Yeah.
That's crazy too.
That's Joe Biden's America.
You got to buy your own furniture.
How is the mega couch getting to Chicago? It's getting to Chicago, right?
We're worried about the mega couch going, but luckily it breaks into different pieces, so mega couch should be fine. Yesterday, I hadn't thought of it, but my smoker is huge, probably 7 feet long. And so I was looking for a spot because my place in Chicago is way smaller yard than here. I have like an acre here, way smaller there. I went on Google Maps and was doing like the measurements in the backyard to see where it could fit. And by the time the 30 or 40 minutes was over, I had to go upstairs to my wife's office and be like, I got to sell the smoker. This is the worst day of my life. Like, there's not a spot for it that makes sense. Just the worst.
It's fucked up.
That's
if
brutal.
only Big
Can you
Cat
get a
wanted to go back to
smaller
Wisconsin,
smoker?
we'd have a Wisconsin HQ
Yeah.
and you'd have plenty of room.
True. Yeah, I could get a smaller smoker, Robbie, and I will.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like the bigger the better. Is that kind of how smokers operate?
Yeah, it's kind of, I guess it's like the barbecue version of driving an F-250. Like, you just want the bigger is better. Like in Texas, especially. You come over with the tiny little smoker and I got that, I'll get kicked out of the state.
Yeah, they might shoot you. Like,
Yeah.
that's not a thing. So yeah, Chaps, you going from the land of pickup trucks and giant smokers to Chi-Town, a little bit different.
And I'm selling my truck too, not even bringing it. Selling it.
What are you going to go with? What's the new car?
My friend, I might go with a little jewel called the Honda Accord.
Oh, buddy. All right. We'll take this offline. If anyone wants to hear me and Chapsy's thoughts, we're going to release special pod fathers just for this stuff because we have a Honda Accord outside in the driveway right now. And we absolutely love it. So we'll see you guys
Nice
tomorrow.
sedan.
Check out The Dozen, 7 p.m. Chicago tomorrow night.